Hey America, this is Ben Berquam with America's Voice News down here in Skid Row, LA. Gavin Newsom says that he has cleaned up Skid Row, spent $100 million to do it, is letting more criminals out onto the street, as Miguel Santiago is saying that he wants our gun stores closed as non-essential services. This is also his district. We want to see if how that cleanup's working, and if the homeless are listening. Come join us. This is what every city in America run by Democrats looks like today. And it's because we've allowed it. We're just going to take you up and down a few of these streets. Again, this is Gavin Newsom saying that he's fixing the homeless problem. So far, I haven't seen any positive change. Block after block after block. This is one of the most heavily policed areas in Los Angeles. Now we're coming up towards the Mission, and I just wanted you guys to take a look at the streets here. Again, this is called urban camping. All those tents, those are not your typical campers, you know, in the country. So this is one of the hotbeds for homeless in Los Angeles. All these streets, public sidewalks. This is where people try to walk. Imagine being elderly, or imagine having ADA issues and trying to walk down these sidewalks. It's impossible. And these policies were put into place by the same Democrats that are now telling you to shelter in place, that you don't have a right to go outside. But this is what Skid Row looks like. This is what Democrats, they say they're working on the homeless. They're spending $100 million. They've already spent. Gavin Newsom just took $100 million more dollars of your tax dollars and says he's putting it to use. What's interesting to me is that they're saying that they fixed the problem with coronavirus in California because they put those shelter-in-place ordinances in place. Well, clearly, the homeless community hasn't got the memo. And one of the things that you'll notice when you deal with the homeless community is they tend to not follow the laws. Most of the people that are out here are either here for drug-related issues, mental illness. We used to have mental hospitals in California. They outlawed those because they thought that they were cruel. And now this is what you have. You have just streets that are just completely filled. That's somebody apparently sleeping under a blanket right there. There's a person in the corner there. There's feces all over the sidewalks. And we're about 0.2 miles away from downtown Los Angeles. Now, they don't want you to know that. Mayor Garcetti and the liberals in California want you to think that they've got this under control. The problem is their policies just make it worse. Gavin Newsom, I don't think they're listening. Until you make harsher sentences for people, until you actually start holding people accountable, this is going to continue. We have seen a couple drug deals since we were down here, and you see it everywhere. I mean, it's just common practice down here. And what we're told when we're interviewing the police officers is they're not able to enforce the drug laws anymore. I mean, think about it from a public health standpoint. And this is where I go back to when Gavin Newsom says it's because of the policies of shelter in place that have brought the corona numbers down. I think this clearly shows that that's not the case, because we're not seeing the coronavirus decimate the homeless community, which is what you would expect, because they're obviously not following the laws. Yet you can't go to your church, you can't go to the beach, you can't run your business. They've shut down so many small businesses in California, but this just continues.
How is the coronavirus spreading? Look at how close they are.
Oh, I know. I know. Well, that's the whole thing. Is it's not. So they're saying that the reason it's not spreading is because we've put these 6 feet rules into place that you and I are following. Well, clearly the people down here aren't following those rules, yet the coronavirus isn't spreading through these communities, or at least they're not saying that it is. So obviously, if it was a case of,
so they're saying that the reason it's not spreading is
because we're staying 6 feet apart, yet the homeless are obviously not following those rules.
Well, and you would think that people would be dialing all over the place. I mean, how many people from Skid Row has been taken to the hospital?
Right. Well, they go to the hospital every day, but not necessarily for coronavirus. You know, this is really the crime epicenter of Los Angeles here. But it's not the COVID epicenter. And the same thing in San Francisco. San Francisco, homeless are still allowed to run rampant, but you're not seeing tons of COVID deaths in the homeless community.
You would think that I mean, this would be an infestation.
Oh, this whole place should be everybody here. I mean, COVID should be, 90% of the people here should have it if the numbers that we're hearing from CNN and MSNBC are true.
Well, I mean, they can't be healthy, right? They got to be pretty sick because they're not getting anything good in their lives.
Right.
So, wow.
That's it.
So I got another question for you.
Go ahead, Mark.
So you're talking about holding people accountable.
Yep.
I mean, these are people.
Hang on a second, Mark. I just want to show you this real quick. This is a park down here. It's basically been taken over by homeless gangs and drug dealers. But yet you can't go to the park. We're being told my daughter's park at her school is shut down because they want to keep us 6 feet apart. But look at this. Well, we're trying to figure out, Gavin Newsom says they spent $100 million more down here to try to help the homeless problem because they say that's what's going to spread COVID throughout the
Or a Skid Row virus?
Yeah, what's that?
A Skid Row virus?
Yes, the Skid Row virus, yeah.
Many viruses right here.
Yeah.
Not coronavirus, many viruses.
There's many viruses, so you guys aren't worried about the coronavirus. There's plenty to worry about down here is what you're saying.
Yep.
There's more than enough. I was down in Mexico a few weeks ago, and that's what they told me. It's like, why are we worrying about this one when there's so many other things we got to worry about?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
What's that? Tijuana? Is that? Yeah. I mean, I've got friends down there, and it's like.
He went the last week.
Yeah, I was down. I was down on the other side, down in Chiapas, down by Guatemala. Further south. So, anyways, what do you guys think about what's going on with all this, the coronavirus?
I don't know. I think it's a part of the government.
Yeah.
It's the system.
Do you mind being on camera, or do you not want to be on camera? Okay.
I got my face back.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they put porta potties in all the corners.
Right.
Before they weren't doing that. I mean, what they want is they want somebody to go in there, leave the infection in there. Somebody else goes in there. Somebody else catches it. I mean.
So you think they're actually trying to spread it?
That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and get rid of the homeless? Because we were in San Francisco and I heard the same thing from people. They thought, hey, Ty, can you do me a favor and share this on the front line and a couple of the other pages? That's what they were telling us up there. They thought that the government was using this to attack the homeless community.
That's what I believe so too.
Wow, that's interesting.
Why did they want everybody indoors that has houses?
Right, but they allow this.
Yeah,
Well, this is what I don't understand. So I came down here. They spent $100 million supposedly to try to fix this, but it looks just as bad to me today as it was a month ago when I came down here. It doesn't look like they're fixing anything.
It looks worse.
It looks worse.
Yeah.
It looks worse.
They knew nothing about it. They want to eliminate all of them.
That's interesting.
Instead of giving them housing, just get rid of them.
What do you think? What do you think about them shutting down everything else? So shutting down parks for you and me, shutting down our kids' schools, shutting down the beaches, not letting you go to church.
I think that's a little too much, too extreme. I mean, why shut down everything? I mean, we still gotta work, we still gotta eat. I mean, whoever's gonna catch is gonna catch it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean,
Yeah.
I could be covering my mouth right now, but I end up catching it. You never know.
Right. Well, and most people are going to survive. What's interesting to me is that they're shutting everything down for us, but the vast majority of people that are affected by this are people that are already sick and elderly. So people 70 and older,
Yes.
and people that have heart conditions, breathing conditions, but younger, their immune system's compromised.
Yeah.
Yep. But anyways, well, God bless you, man.
All right.
Would you mind telling me your name?
George.
George, all right, we'll skip the handshakes. We'll do the Corona handshake, the elbow. George, all right, what is it?
Frank de la Sierra.
Frank de la Sierra.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, God bless you guys. Anything else you want to add?
Singer from downtown LA.
Singer from downtown LA.
I hope this gets handled right away because I gotta work.
You got to work. I'm with you. Reopen America.
Right.
Reopen America. America's Voice News on Facebook. We're live on Facebook right now. Yep. You're good, man. You're good, bro. All right. Thank you. All right, guys. Come on down here with us. We're going to keep going. So we're down here on Wall Street. Different kind of Wall Street here than in New York. Wall Street and 6th Street. But where are the city, county mental health workers? Now, this is a mental health issue and drug issue. Gavin Newsom, where is that $100 million being spent? That's the question I have.
Hi, sir.
So, well, what's that?
I'd like to tell y'all something, sir. Sir, I'd like to tell you something. That man is a man blessed by God. He come out here not worrying about no viruses. God,
is he from a church? Where's he from?
I don't know where, but he is anointed by God. I know that. I respect this man because this man don't worry about being worried. He been come out serving
Have you seen the corona? So we're down here trying to figure out. The governor says he's fixing the problem, but that the homeless need to separate because this is where the coronavirus.
It ain't no viruses down here because when God is your protection. See, when God is your protection.
So you're not seeing a lot of coronavirus down here.
I just got out of a hospital right down, good hospital right downtown, and I passed my virus test when she said she had nurses in her place that work with her with the virus. She said, why you didn't get it? You from Skid Row. Because when you are protected by a God called Jehovah, those things don't become your hit as where people think they are.
Yeah.
You understand? That man, he have a beautiful house. I'm sure he's a great man. He come down here with no mask on, you guys. Why? Because he got the best mask in the world. He got God's protection. I respect that man. He don't feel nothing. He got a family, and he come down because he don't need a mask to protect him. Because when you got a God protecting a man that do it from his heart, it won't touch him.
I'm gonna walk across here real quick. I'm almost down on battery. What's that? Well, hang on. Yep. Hang on, guys. So we're almost out of batteries, guys. Thank you for joining. Obviously the censorship is very frustrating. The numbers seem to be intentionally low. We're just wrapping up down here in Skid Row, but I wanted to show you some of this. How you doing, sir?
Marines.
Do you mind telling me where you're from, sir? I don't have. Are you with an organization or just with the church, or just doing it? Can I film you doing it? That's okay. Okay. Do you mind telling me your name? Willie. What got you guys started doing this?
I don't know. I've been going to church all my life, off and on. So me and my wife I guess the Spirit of God gave us. That's it. I don't know. I just felt compassion just to come down here and do it.
Are you from here in the LA area?
I've been in LA 25 years.
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel good about giving back. I'm not worried about nothing. I've been coming down here 4 years. I ain't even caught a cold.
So the government's saying that this is where the coronavirus is spreading.
Okay. Do you see any sick people down here?
I haven't found any.
Thank you.
So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't got to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. But I don't know. I mean, everybody's not spiritual like I am.
Yeah.
I believe if God told me to come down here, I believe He's going to protect us.
How do we fix the problem? Because every time I come, I've been coming for a few years, and it seems to be getting worse in LA in particular. How do we fix the homeless problem in America and in LA?
Put the money in non-politicians' hands. Put it in a regular person's hand that can see through these people's eyes. You can't put it in greedy people's hands because they want the material stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you got to put it in somebody's hand. What?
I couldn't help but notice that there's no city workers down here. We've been walking the streets for a few minutes now. You're the first person I saw down here, and you're just a volunteer doing this. This isn't government.
tuna?
No, this is fried chicken.
Louisiana.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Okay.
God bless you.
That's what we got to do. We got to put the power in regular people's hands. You know, we gotta,
Take it out of the government's.
I mean, no. Well, I wouldn't say take it out of government. I would say just take it out of the people's hands that's greedy for money.
Right. Well, I look at what, like, the government came along. This used to be the church. This used to be me and you, neighbors, helping neighbors.
Right, exactly.
Now it's, you got government organizations that don't, they're just getting a paycheck. They don't necessarily even care about the people on the street.
Right.
And whether or not they do a good job doesn't matter.
Right.
This is love, what you're doing.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is what you call ministry, not a building.
Yeah.
This is getting out here and putting the work in. I mean, because if I'm living in a really good house, how could I just ride past this person every day and throw away a whole bunch of food and stuff?
Yeah.
You know, so I believe that's what started me because I had a lot of leftovers.
Well, it was Willard?
Sometimes.
Willard?
Willie.
Willie.
Yes.
God bless you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right. We're on America's Voice News if you want to check it out.
Okay, all right.
So, you know, it's interesting. We've been down here we were flying the drone, and then we came down and we're doing some interviews. Let's head down this way, Ty. I just want to end down over here. I have not seen a single city worker down here providing services, but we saw this Cadillac pull up, and I was thinking, what is this? One of the guys was like, oh, he's passing out needles. There's a huge line of people got behind him, so we went over to actually find out what it was. He wasn't passing out needles, he's passing out food. I'm torn on that. God bless him for helping people. I appreciate him doing food rather than money, but it also, you know, the solution isn't to invite. Man, it's so deep. The layers of the problem are so deep here. I don't have it. But they are giving out food right down here. Yes, sir. Right in that Cadillac, straight down. And the black Cadillac down there. So I don't give money because most of the people that are out here have some sort of addiction, either drug or alcohol. But it's you know. Hang on a second, let me turn this around. So we're back down where we started.
Go kitchen.
There you guys go get chicken right there, right behind you.
And this is what you see. So as Gavin Newsom keeps wasting more tax dollars on government, on really it's the economy, they have an entire economy of homelessness. There are people, government employees, that make a living keeping people homeless, not actually fixing the problem. So we're being told by Gavin Newsom that he's trying to fix the problem, but what we're seeing is the exact opposite. It's just getting worse. Everywhere down here. All right, we're going to get out of here, man. God bless you, sir. All right. Ready? Yeah. Go ahead and jump in. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. It's getting a little bit hostile. So you end up having a lot of hang on a second. So you've got drug dealers out here that are keeping the homeless problem.
Was a little bit sketchy, dude.
What's that?
That dude behind that
Yeah,
utility cabinet.
I know. So you have drug dealers down here who's, you know, make a living keeping people homeless, but you also have people down here that are trying to help the problem, like Willie. It's just a mess. But I'll tell you what, the solution is not Democrat policies. The solution is not more free needles and letting more people out of prison. The solution is not decriminalizing and allowing this to happen and saying that it's okay to defecate in the streets. That's not the solution.
About to fight right here. They're fighting. They're fighting. Oh, no.
Yeah, you see it all day. Hang on.
Yep, there they go.
So we got a fight about to break out over here, just all day. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. And that's what you see. Last time I was down here, there was a shooting. I mean, every day somebody dies down here. Gavin Newsom doesn't care about that. The left don't care about that. The reason we're in this situation, but also interviewing people down here, I haven't seen a single person. A lot of them are wearing masks, but everyone I've asked about it, they don't know anybody that's had COVID that's down here in the homeless community. So we're being told that this is where it's spreading. This is the epicenter. This is where we need to spend most of our time and money and resources to fix it. But what are you doing? If we're really spending all that money, why does it still look like this? I don't get it. Something's not right, guys. We're here in front of Miguel Santiago's office. He's the assemblyman for the 53rd District, which includes Skid Row. We just happened to drive up as the sidewalk cleaners and street cleaners pulled up. Notice how beautiful his sidewalk is. No tents, no homeless. Nice, clean sidewalk. Half a mile down the street here is Skid Row. We just drove through there. You can see this. Look at this. Look at the tents out on the streets. People's peeing on the buildings. We witnessed this firsthand. We witnessed drug deals going on. We witnessed people doing drugs on the street. But he doesn't have to live in that. This is what you always find with elites. They want you to live the way they tell you to live, but they don't have to live that way. They say they want criminals out onto the streets. They want to let more criminals out, but they don't live with those criminals. Those criminals live with you and your family and your neighborhoods. They want criminals out on the street, creating more victims, but this hypocrite doesn't want those victims to be able to protect themselves with a firearm. That's the whole point of this. He wants to strip you of your right to protect yourself and your family, while supporting letting criminals back out onto the street. It's okay for him to have protection, but not for you. But I'll go without a camera. You're saying I can't come in without a mask and a glove? Okay. So, but if I have to have mask and a glove, why don't you guys have mask and gloves?
Okay, perfect. So, here it goes. You guys are here for?
We're going to go to Miguel Santiago's office. Is it open?
That's the thing. Give me a second.
Okay.
I gotta double check that.
Okay.
For security purposes,
I'm with.
can we take this side, okay? So give me one
Okay,
second.
but just a question. You're saying we can't come in with mask and gloves?
Mask.
So they said we can't come in without mask and gloves. So I went to get my mask from First Responder Masks.
There's a phone number.
How you doing, sir?
I can help you.
I'm Ben with America's Voice News.
Yes.
And I was just coming up here to find out, we wanted to actually ask the Assemblyman if we could get a statement in regards to his letter asking to close down
I mean,
gun
at the
stores.
moment, right now, we're only accepting appointments.
Right, could we get an appointment today?
Can you happen to call the office? That way I can jot it down.
You can't jot it down now?
It'd be better if you just call right here.
Okay.
And I'll jot it down from the phone.
Okay, we'll do that. Miguel Santiago wants to take law-abiding citizens' means of protection away from them. And he wants more criminals out on the street.
And he wants to protect his safety.
But his safety needs to be protected. This is insane, guys. Miguel Santiago wants more criminals on the streets, wants you to not be protected. But he's got locks on his doors. He's got private security. He's got security guards that monitor us coming into his building. He's protected. You're not. From a distance, it looks like paradise. That's what they'd have you believe. Democrats want you to think that their policies create paradise. But it creates anything but. When you look closely, you see the truth. They don't want you looking closely. That's why most reporters don't report this. That's why Democrats don't give interviews like President Trump does. These so-called representatives must be held accountable. They must have to live under the same rules that you and I live under. Bring your tents out here to Miguel Santiago's office, and all of the Democrats who say that it's okay, urban camping is okay in your neighborhood. It's unacceptable. This is Ben Berquam with America's Voice News, exposing the hypocrites in our government. America's Voice News, guys. God bless America. Tell the truth.